Hi, I'm Streaky, this is Metropolis Studios, and today I'm reviewing the dangerous BAX EQ. So the dangerous BAX EQ. Now I've been using this for quite a while now, and I'm finding it useful for what I do. It's made by the guy that made all the equipment for Sterling Sound. He's gone off and done dangerous stuff. Now you all know their stuff anyway is quite good. It's when I say quite good, it's very good, and it's sturdy, solid as a rock gear. It's not badly priced. I think this is about £1,500, and it's handy. It's a handy thing to have. Now I have it at the front of my chain. I tend to use it to kind of clean things up before I start getting into details. So it's good if you've got something that's really toppy, you can just drag the top off a little bit. Or if you've got something that's too bassy, drag that down. It's really for sort of leveling things up. Now, if you think of it as a tone control in a car where you've got treble and bass, but in a much more detailed way, because you can pick the frequencies out that you're lifting, that you're shelving basically. But these shelves go on forever. They're really lovely sounding shelves. It's a really nice sounding unit. The high end is very smooth on it and the low end is very tight. The low end I like to use at about 74 Hertz. That's one of my main settings, and I might add on say half a dB or a dB just to give a little bit of smack to the drums before it comes into the rest of the kit, where I might, you know, push around and crush things up a bit with compressors. So I quite like that setting. I tend to use the cuts, so I use the cut on the low end for about, you know, I don't go too high on it because it starts. They're very sharp curves, very clean curves. They're not as smooth as say my Maselect that I use. I tend to use them so that they're precise. The thing you can do with it is you can use a cut in the low end, then add some bass to it in a very sort of pull-techy way, and get quite a nice thumpy kick out of the sound. I tend to use the high frequency cut for 70k. That's only because I'm believing in the manual that it says that it'd be good for your converters to cut there. I can't actually hear a difference if I'm totally honest, but you can as you start coming down the frequency. I don't see why it can't hurt. I mean, it's got to be doing something. So, you know, I can't hear it, bats can, so cut it off. But in the top end, I tend to use this more for just taking off. So I might, if something's a little bit tizzy, I use it at 18k and I kind of whip, say, a dB off, and it really smooths the tops out nicely. But having said that, if you can use it at the 7k setting and you want to add some really smooth high end, it's got a lovely sound to it. Now, on another video, which I'll link up around here somewhere, I've done a test of this against the plug-in version, so you can hear the difference if you haven't got hardware and you don't want to go down that route. The plug-in version sounds really, really close, so that's definitely worth having a look at. I tend to use this right at the front of the chain just to sort things out before I get into the rest of it. It's nice, it's got a feel, it's got a sound, and it's very posh sounding, very clean. And it's just a straightforward, really easy unit to use. So this is in my arsenal, and I use it on pretty much most things, even if it's just to use that high-end cut malarkey. It's the only downside, which I've tend to find, is that even with it in the chain, in or out, it adds some kind of curve sound. Doesn't feel to me like it's truly bypassed. It says in the manuals that it is, but there's still a sound. It's going, you know, there's something about the sound of the circuitry. Now that's not a bad sound. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's just sometimes you don't want to have to unplug all your gear all the time. Well, I certainly don't. I just want to be able to pop it in and out. And I've got it chained up in with a few other pieces of kit, so it's a bit annoying. But as I say, I tend to like that sound, and I like that high curve thing just from a psychological way. So that's kind of how I use it, and I think it's a nice unit to check out. So check out the plugin if you haven't got the budget or the facilities to use a hardware version. But in the plugin thing, I actually found the hardware version to sound a little bit better. It had that more 3D sound, but then that is just hardware in general compared to plugins. Hope you found this useful. If you want me to review any other equipment, please let me know and I'm more than happy to do so. Please like the video, please comment and please subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.